Hey, this is Shruti Nadig, a teenage leadership coach with a mission to bring out the positive transformation among young adults through my organization, The Positive Turn. Have you ever given a thought how people become successful? Or what situations, circumstances, and skill sets are required for one to be a successful leader? Take a pause and figure it out yourself. Reach out to 5 people in your community, people in and around you whom you consider successful. Reach out to them, talk to them, and dig through their life. And then analyze, did they have all the favorable situations to be successful? Or did they know some magic to convert all the unfavorable situations into a favorable situation? Or were they born lucky any chance? Comment on this video once you figure it out yourself. I recently read an interview article about the legendary Ratan Tata. He was bullied by his peer students when he was in the school because his parents got divorced and his mom got married to somebody else. Just imagine what would have happened, what would have passed through that little boy. How his confidence and self-esteem would have been shaken. Do you think that was any favorable situation? There's another incident which I can recall, a shocking incident from the life of Steve Jobs. We all know how he was thrown out of his own company, the company that he founded himself, Apple. How devastating it would have been for him, right? And Thomas Edison, he was a continuous failure for more than 900 times when he was inventing the bulb. So how do you think some situations like this can boost up somebody's morale or keep the confidence alive? So, the good and the bad situations are a part of everyone's life, right? So what do these successful people do it differently so that the bad situations or challenging situations don't impact them? They just perceive the situation differently. They just tell themselves a story which is very different from what an ordinary person would tell in these challenging situations. Let's look at it like this. We all have goals and dreams in the life. We also have challenges and unfavorable situations. Just that different people perceive it differently. Some find themselves as victim of the situation, some get adjusted, and some break through the situations. The people who find themselves as a victim, they feel I'm unlucky, I don't have the skills, no one supports me, and why only me? They get agitated and stressed out. And people who adjust, they usually think, well, it's okay, so let me live with it. I can't do much. Let me ignore it. This is how life is. And they feel blocked and suppressed inside. There are another set of people who break through, the successful leaders. They always go back and think, what did I learn out of this situation? How can I change myself? What are the options I've got now? What new can I do? What are my strengths? And how not to repeat this kind of situation. They feel responsible for their goals and they find new opportunities to achieve them. Let's look back into the same story that we were looking at. So when Thomas Edison was continuously failing during his invention, so someone asked him, how is that you keep going in spite of so many failures? So what he answered was, I tell myself every time I fail that I identified how not to invent a bulb. So I keep going. So that's the story that he kept telling himself every time he failed. And Steve Jobs, when he was thrown out of his own company, he was totally devastated. He was broken. He didn't know what to do. But nobody could hold back a man with a passion. he went ahead and founded Pixar and Next. And Pixar turned out to be the world's best animation studio. And Next was eventually bought over by Apple. And Steve Jobs said, "If I was not thrown out of Apple, I would not have formed Next. And if Next was not there, Apple would not have been as successful as it is today." So this is how the people, the successful leaders and the people tell themselves a story very different from what ordinary people tell in unfavorable situations. So I, Shruti Nadig, and the Positive Turn call upon all the young adults out there to decide what is that story that you're going to tell yourself from now on.